We got an order to cater for 300 guests, and that actually included small chops. In fact, it was just small chops we were to serve at this party. So we did a collaboration with Spicy Kitchen, who happened to be one of the best caterers in Ijebu, and all the way from Ogun State, she had to come down to Lagos for this order. So we did a collaboration, and in this video, I'm just going to be showing you all the details. Let's go.
They call me QuinOla, QuinOla.
Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I would like to say thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know that I really do love and appreciate you. Now, the making of this video was so exciting to me, as you know, I was very thrilled to collaborate with Spicy Kitchen. Actually, she just called me up for a link up, and to God we have it, we were able to, serve these guests, 300 guests, and it was really an awesome experience, trust me. Don't worry, when we proceed in the video, you are going to be seeing why I said so. Now, for the sake of the discussion we had, because I didn't carry my mic along, so all the things I said, the breeze and then the distortion from those part from the passerbys were not allowing my voice to come out very well. So that's why I'm doing a voiceover. If not, you guys will just be hearing my voice live from the event center. So we were privileged to collaborate with Spicy Kitchen, and we did 300 small chops like I earlier mentioned. So let me just get right into the details of the video. In this video, you are going to be learning how to make puff puff in large quantity. Okay, you're going to be learning how to make puff puff in large quantity, and like you already know, we are doing this for 300 guests, so it's a fail proof measurement. Now, if you notice in this video, I didn't carry my scale. I usually tell you all that. For puff puff, we have about 4 cups of flour to 1 cup of sugar, right? So here we bought 3 pints of flour. Now, I always tell you also that 1 pint of flour equals 3 kg of flour. And then I also tell you guys that sometimes 3.2 kg equals 3 you could get 3.2 kg if they add for you. Maybe those are your like regular customer and all that you get. And then you could get lesser, and it shouldn't be lesser than 2.8 kg. But the standard bucket um measurement for flour, right, for custard plastic is usually 3 kg. But you guys, guess what? You won't believe that this particular paint was not up to 2.8 kg. It wasn't up to 2.8 kg. So you need to be really careful. So initially, we planned that we were going to do 9 kg of flour, which is 72 cups, because 9 times 8 is about 72. All right, which is 72 cups. But we ended up doing 8 kg. Like the flour stopped at 8 kg. After we finished measuring, it stopped at 8 kg, which was way lesser than 2.8 kg. So imagine if it was 2.8 kg, it would have been 8.4. Do you get? If it was if it was 2.8 kg per one bucket, right, it could have been 8.4 kg that we're going to measure. But it was so funny that 1 kg couldn't even measure up to 8.4, couldn't even measure up to 2.8 kg. And that was a whole lot. I had to, after this event, I had to reach out to the flour vendor, and I literally just told them that their measurement isn't correct. Do you understand? So these are part of the things where, and I've mentioned it already in our frequently asked question, video that I posted, you know, 2 videos before this particular one that I'm about to post now. These are some of the things that as a business owner you need to factor in. All right. Maybe due to time, we couldn't even measure from that place because all that was in my mind was that we're just going to use the cups to measure. But it was so funny how that by the time we got the um to the event and then we were now measuring everything, we realized that it wasn't the complete measurement we wanted to use. Do not worry, all the list of ingredients, I'm going to be putting them in the description box. Okay. So in this particular video, in this recipe, we did 64 cups of all-purpose flour, which is equivalent to 8 kilogram of flour. We also did 16 cups of sugar. All right, 16 cups of sugar. Now that 16 cups of sugar, remember it is 4 cups to 1 cup of sugar. So um um 16 cups would actually be enough for 8 kg of flour. All right, 60 cups of sugar. Then for the yeast, we also did 16 tablespoons of yeast. You can see that I'm measuring them properly. 2 tablespoons equals 1 kg of of flour. 2 tablespoons of yeast is okay for 1 kg of flour. So for 8 kg is going to be 2 times 8 or 8 times 2, whatever calculation, whatever way you are doing your calculation. So there's a lot of mathematics in catering also. So to those of you that are running away from mathematics, please try as much as possible to know the basics because they are very important. And when you overdo things or you do them lesser, it could actually be a problem. So you need to know your onions. Okay. Now another ingredient we use for this recipe is actually the milk mix flavor. So we use 3 of the milk mix flavor. So after using the milk mix flavor, we also used 3 nutmegs. Now you can use more than 3 nutmeg for this recipe, but we use 3 nutmeg for the recipe. So after we were done with the dry ingredients, what we did was that we divided everything. We also used 2 full tablespoons of salt because we want to balance up the recipe, right? Just as we always do. We use salt to balance up the sugar and all that. Okay. Now this is sweet puff puff. Okay. So what we did was we had to divide it because if we have if we had put um the flour in one bowl, it will be too much for the bowl. Do you understand? It will be too much for the bowl. So that was why we had to divide the recipe. After we finished mixing it together, we had to divide the recipe. So when we divided it, at least it was a full day job. Okay, it was a full day job. So by the time we divided it, later towards the evening session, then we now started frying the second batch. So these are things to also factor in when you are doing an event. You don't just fry everything at once. All right, you fry them simultaneously. And again, I think another reason why we even did this was because we used only one gas burner, which we're going to be seeing later. We used only one gas burner, so it wasn't really easy to fry. And do not forget that we were also frying samosa, spring rolls, and the likes. Okay, so we had to do all that. So for the first bowl, we began mixing. So one thing I always tell caterers or I tell people that are producing in bulk is that you have to be very, very cautious of your timing when it comes to doing small chops in large quantity. Okay, you have to be very, very cautious of your timing when you want to do small chops in large quantity. So you have to constantly be in contact with either the event planner or the people that called you in for the event so that it doesn't slow you down. And when you now start frying and all that, it now becomes a rush work. So try as much as possible to factor in time, for yourself so that you won't be under pressure to do anything. So here we already boiled water. I literally couldn't find the video we did of the of when we were boiling the water, but trust me, it wasn't like extremely hot. Just like I always tell you all, it's not boiling hot water. Okay, it's supposed to be warm, but a little bit more than warm water. All right. So because if your water is so hot, it is going to kill the yeast. And if you notice, we did not proof the yeast, and that is because we were using instant dry yeast. So when you see instant dry yeast, then it means you don't have to proof it. Okay, but if you see like active dry yeast means maybe you have to proof it for a while before you add it to your bowl. So by the time we were already done adding in the hot water, or rather the lukewarm water, we now added in the vanilla extract. We added in the vanilla extract. So we added about two vanilla extracts to this particular recipe. No, not even two, one and a half. Yes, we added in one and a half of the vanilla extract to this recipe. Now, like I already said, this is sweet puff puff, and because it's for a birthday party, all right, it's for a birthday party, and as much as possible, you want to impress your customers. And apart from that, this is a standard measurement. You need a balanced measurement when it comes to catering in an event, because it is never the same when you are saying you just want to be selling every day. Because one thing I realize is that some people end up reducing their quality just because they are running it as a business. Do you understand? You don't do that when it comes to event catering. All right, so let's get that. Now, after 45 minutes of proofing, we began frying. After 45 minutes of proofing our batter, we began frying. So like I already said, also we had to fry. In fact, I was so excited about this, as much as my back was paining me at the end of it, but the joy of seeing that you did something in bulk and it came out perfectly, you multiplied your recipes correctly, and all that was just the joy for me. Do you understand? And also, I give a great shout out and thanks to those that assisted us in serving, and also to Spicy Kitchen herself for being there, throughout the journey. So we had to start frying this as fast as possible, and that's where, I already mentioned, you are going to factor in timing. So as fast as possible, we started frying, and look at the size for the small chops. Now, if I had done something way bigger than this, it couldn't there was every possibility and probability that it wasn't going to go round. Do you understand? There was every possibility that it wasn't going to go round. Another thing I'm going to say for this video is that you need to know the type of flour you are using. You need to know the type of proofing agent you are also using for your batter. Let me shock you guys. This particular bowl, we didn't finish frying it in a long time. And that was because as we were frying, it was as though it was rising again. This is a true fact. Now, if you were using maybe a soft flour, right, you may not necessarily get this much puff from it, but because we were using the hard flour, right, it helped our rising agent to do its work in it. And trust me, it was an exciting journey. It was an exciting experience. Please, now that we've gotten to this point, if you know you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly do well to do so. Okay, I create content that helps everyone. If you're a small like a small business owner, or someone who produce in bulk quantities, I am here for you. I am that girl. I am your sure plug. Okay, I'm going to give you that recipe you need to ensure that you have a smooth run, because I believe that everybody can win. Okay. And I believe so much in quality. And I also believe in using less and, getting more. Okay. So, and finally, I am a detailed person. Trust me, guys, I'm a detailed person. I will tell you how it is going. I will tell you what you should do. Thank you for continuing this journey with me. I do not take it for granted. If you're a new subscriber here, thank you so much for joining the family. I do not take your presence and your watch time for granted either. Also, I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to comment, do not forget to share, do not forget to like this video, and also do not forget to put on your post notification so that anytime I post a video, you'll be the first to get notified. After frying the batch of puff puff, we proceeded to frying our samosa and spring roll, and just like that we were able to feed 300 guests for this event. It was an awesome one. I was really blessed and privileged to do this. And guess what, guys? I can also do this in your event. Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye.